all right. You're listening to Jeff Aycock, the Jeff Aycock Band. We play the best local artists here in the DFW area, and if you are absolutely listening in as they are doing on Adam Bazaldua's Facebook feed, you may have seen Howard Scott of War. You know, that's the guy who did Why Can't We Be Friends and The World is a Ghetto. That's dude right there. So that's how, yeah. You went, oh. So that's what we do, that's how it is, man. So you were saying during the break time about
the homelessness. Yeah, so there was one thing that I do want to say. I've proposed it a couple of times. I'd really like to get the wheels moving on it. I don't care who takes responsibility for the idea, but there's a really cool, innovative solution to homelessness that is being executed in Philadelphia, and I believe it's called Street Change. And there's when they do their homeless count in the city, they administer little fobs, and the fobs are given to each homeless individual. The city is set up with a neutral ground place where resources are available for mental health, but there's also social workers that play as like the middlemen. And it's really about building relationships and trust. And the cool part about that fob is once they go and they register that fob belongs to them, they then can come back to that center anytime that they have specific needs, like I need some socks or I need a jacket. And I think that's killing a bunch of birds with a lot of stones. I mean, with a couple stones, because the community sometimes doesn't know what to give. So not only is it connecting the community directly with specific needs of the homeless, but it's also building relationships and trust to get them to eventually accept the resources and the services that are available on site. It seems like a no-brainer of an idea, and in whichever capacity it is brought to Dallas, but I mean, with our city's makeup and the issue at hand, I mean, it's almost a model.
And then what made you decide to go pick this up from Philadelphia?
Well,
you did your research.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to look at things that are being done right, especially when we can identify that we in Dallas are doing something wrong. So one thing that I can say about elected officials as a whole is I don't have to be the expert. I'm not the one that knows everything. I don't ever want to be the one that knows everything. I think it's important for us to seek the people that know everything, seek the experts in the situation, bring them to the table with the stakeholders, and come to a compromise and make sure that happens together.
Okay. And one other thing I wanted to ask you about, we were talking about the homeless situation, medical care. Mm-hmm. They go hand in hand. Tell me about your medical care and your plans to improve it.
For medical care.
Right. Because this is what I've noticed in South Dallas, and just speaking of South Dallas, and it seems like the district itself is a wide-ranging district. You have upper income, and you also have Hispanic communities. You also have African American communities. You have working class people as well. But when we talk about homeless, medical care, that goes hand in hand a lot of times. Because I see quite a few people that need taken care of.
I wanted you to clarify. You mean like people on the street, or just people in the community?
Right.
The homelessness.
Right.
Well, we do have a Parkland branch that I do think is underutilized that is in our district. It's also right off of the DART, and I do think that I think that we have some resources available. I don't think that the education piece is there to let people know that they're there. The last that I checked into it, and it has been a while, the Parkland location, the remote Parkland location in our district is severely underutilized. So
Martin Luther King Clinic, how about that? That's in the district too.
Well, the Martin Luther King, actually, my campaign manager is on the board, and she's she's opened my eyes to a lot of the good work that's being done at the Martin Luther King Community Center, and the amount of people that accept services there would blow your mind. It's in the thousands, and so there's really good things happening in the community at the Martin Luther King Center, as it should be, to make sure that we're keeping a center with his name on it, doing the good work.
There's some controversy about Martin Luther King, the community center. I understand that some people are talking about having it moved. You heard anything about it?
I haven't heard anything about the center itself being moved, and I know that there's definitely been drama in our city, not only with Martin Luther King Center, but there's always drama in our city. I think it's really important for us to focus on the positives in our district and all of the work that needs to be done, because there's plenty of it to not get clouded with all of the drama.
What are the good things that's going on that we can talk about?
What are the good things in the district?
Right.
Well, I mean, we got Lincoln, Madison, and Skyline High School, all doing their things. And I have a lot of pride for Raider Nation, so go Skyline. And I think that we also have a really good thing that's happening with Fair Park. I think it's going to take a lot of oversight and a lot of community engagement, a lot of input. Show up, let your voices be heard, make sure that Fair Park First hears what you would like to see done into the community, because we're going to blink our eyes and we're going to see a lot of development coming.
Privatization of Fair Park.
Yes.
After everything was said and done, I believe everyone voted on the council for that, correct?
Absolutely.
Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it was a great thing. I think that, again, when we can identify that the city of Dallas is doing something wrong, we need to be strategic and smart about getting things done in a different way. Now it's about accountability and holding the new management's feet to the fire. They have to hear from the community to know what the community wants. But under the management of the city, the Fair Park was demolishing under our eyes, right before our eyes. The amount of identified maintenance, deferred maintenance for Fair Park as a whole, and then the amount of money that they throw to it with the bond is just somewhat comical, and at the same time insulting, but it's also very indicative of what the district has endured for so long. So now I'm excited to see a group that does have some money behind them, a group that came from outside of the city of Dallas. And, sometimes that's a good thing. A lot of people had something to say about that, but they're not a part of the Dallas establishment that's just been trying to get up into South Dallas. So I saw that as a positive. And like I said, now it's the accountability piece, and the community has to show up to make sure that not only what happens inside of Fair Park is conducive to the neighborhood, but also all of the development that's about to follow. I mean, we're about to see, hopefully, some good things around Fair Park, and hopefully some good changes for the community. Hopefully some increased green space. Hopefully take away some of these parking lots that were put up to set a barrier from Fair Park to these communities, and really attacking the symbolism that Fair Park holds into the oppression of the marginalized communities.
When we talk about South Dallas and we talk about Fair Park, it's always about a land grab of people coming in and to doing things to the Fair Park, such as taking your homes. Are we seeing still a lot of that going on?
Well, I mean, I definitely think that we have land grabbing going on in the southern sector. It's not just in District 7. That's something that I think the entire southern sector of the city needs to keep their eye out for. Land being bought isn't a bad thing. It's when the land that's bought is turned into something that isn't for the community. So again, that's about the leadership. That's about representation. That's about showing up and making sure that there's plenty of opportunity for community input, so that we are very clear on expectations for our community.
As we go to a close, and I'm looking at the time, but I wanted to go ahead and give you adequate times to talk about what you personally would do for the District 7. What will you personally do for District 7?
Well, what I personally will do is, I'm a teacher, and I think all of us know that teachers don't make very much money, right? This is a lateral move as far as income for myself. I do plan on going full-time as a council member. I think the amount of work that needs to be done in our district requires somebody that looks at this as a full-time job, put their boots on the ground, talk, listen, and make sure that the voice that you carry, the votes that you have, are a reflection of the collaborative voices that you've listened to within the district. So I want to give 100%. I want to make sure that the people feel like someone like them is representing them. And I want to go back to saying working class, you know. I understand that the dynamic of hard work, and I understand the dynamic of rough times, and I understand that there's more to power than money.
All right. When is election time?
Election day is May 4th. Early voting starts on April 22nd, and we have not drawn for our place on the ballot, so I don't know what number to tell you that I'm on, but I plan on coming back and talking with the commission. I want to come back.
Okay, let's do that. That way I can ask you about the Citizens Police Review Board.
Awesome.
We'll do that.
Sounds good.
All right. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to play a couple of more drops, and then we're going to bail on out. And, hey, I'd like to send a special shout-out to all of those people who are listening in right now across the Commish Nation, and all of those that are tuned in right here to Facebook Live. I understand the City Councilman Kevin Felder is on. I believe wow, we got quite a few people here. I just want to go ahead and recognize Gwen Sadler is on as well. Miss Eva Jones. I sure do miss that barbecue down there in sunny South Dallas where the sun never stops shining. And for those folks over at Blackjack Pizza. That's right. I was over there the last time and got some of that iced tea. But you know what? They say the best tea that you can make is the kind you make at home, but this is pretty doggone good. So that's all I'm going to go ahead and say. Let's go ahead and play a couple of more drops, and we are out of time. All right.
All right.
See you guys later.
This is Ed Gray of the Commish Radio Show. You can catch us now on Wednesdays, 5 to 6 in the Red Bowl, followed by Howard Scott of the Howard Scott Show. Why can't we be friends?